Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another Vegas Voice Senior Vote political segment. I'm Dan Roberts, publisher of the Vegas Voice, and our mission is to present all the people running for elected office, be it local, state, or federal. Our goal is for you to listen, watch, and you decide whether that person deserves your vote on Election Day. I'm very pleased to have with me today the mayor of the city of Henderson, Michelle Romero, and I thank you so much for being here,
Thank
Michelle.
you for having me here.
Let's just go right into it, Michelle, if you don't mind. What is going on in the city of Henderson with the city council and all the so-called infighting going on?
You know, I think that's kind of a mountain out of a molehill situation. We have a very fully functional council that works well together. We have once in a while somebody who gets very passionate about something or gets some information that they feel is important that maybe the others don't, and they make a big deal about it.
Right.
It's usually something that is very minor, but for the most part, we are there to do the work of the city. We focus on being professional, and that's where we want to keep it.
Well, you know, again, over the last couple of weeks, we've had stories and incidents, and we've had people come in. We've had Councilwoman Carrie Cox, Ward 3, come in, and bitterly complaining about what is going on and that the so-called mean girls are freezing her out. And you know what? What's your side of the situation?
I think people get the treatment that they put out in the world, and when you treat others so badly that they no longer want to work with you or collaborate with you, that's your doing. You need to do some self-reflection. I had to take legal action. Other council members have had to take legal action because of the words that she has put out.
Yeah.
You've seen some of the letters.
I've seen it, yes.
That I received from people talking about what she said to them about me. And when it affects your family, then you've got to do something. Anything else, if you want to talk about me, you can talk about me, I don't care. But if you talk about my family and you try to disrupt my family, then we're going to have a problem.
You know, and I don't blame you on that, but you know what I find interesting is that you seem like a very nice person. I've known you for a couple of years.
Yeah.
How can you put up with something like that? If it's not a political difference, if that's the issue.
Right.
It's become very personal. And again, I've seen the letters, I've heard about it. Did it ever occur to you to say, I don't need this anymore, I'm out of here?
No, it's just a distraction. I am here to do the work of people. My entire adult life has been in service to the city of Henderson. Worked for the city for 25 years in a variety of different departments. The last 9 years of my career at the city was with the redevelopment agency. I headed up that, so the revitalization of Water Street, Cadence, all of those great projects that bring the older parts of our city up to the standards of the new parts of our city were a passion project for me. And I have worked really hard to make sure that our city is the best it can be. I've lived here since birth.
Yeah.
And so I had an amazing life growing up in Henderson. And it gave me an amazing career. And I want to give back. And distractions aren't going to stop me from doing that.
Well, you know, there's one other distraction, I also want to mention it, and that is the fact of the police chief, who unfortunately is, well, either fortunately or unfortunately, is no longer the police chief. And she announced right here on the Vegas Voice Seniors Vote that she's running against you. And can you talk a little bit about what happened? Because between that and with the councilwoman, it just looks like sort of dysfunction, and I guess it's not.
It's not. I mean, we are nationally recognized. In fact, we just this year won the Malcolm Baldrige Award for Performance Excellence. That doesn't happen by mistake, and it doesn't happen through chaos. We have very specific rules and regulations in place, especially when it comes to our employees. We have standard disciplinary procedures when things are going wrong. Somebody doesn't just come in and get fired for day one of a job. There is a process that is followed. Very generally speaking, council doesn't get involved in personnel issues. That's the job of the city manager. But the city manager and all of our other supervisors throughout the city, if there is a problem with an employee, they will counsel them, they will document it very well, they will provide opportunities for improvement, and they will sometimes bring in a counselor or a mentor or somebody who can help them through these problems. If it still doesn't work after that, then a decision has to be made. In that case, a decision was made. I agree with the decision. I saw what the rationale was
Right.
from the city manager, and I agreed with the decision.
And you know, the interesting thing, and we talked about it before we came on the air here, is that the average Henderson resident, the Sun City Anthem, Sun City McDonald Ranch, Solera Anthem, they have no idea what is going on at City Council. I mean, they don't go to the meetings, you know
Right.
that. But they look at what's going on in the city of Henderson, and the city is just growing, exploding. And is it growth that is planned out, or is it just willy-nilly? How is it done?
It is very specifically planned out, but I want to put it in perspective.
Please.
So in the late 1990s and the early 2000s, Henderson was growing at double-digit rates.
Yeah.
It was what you called explosive
Yeah.
growth. We were still planning out. We still had very thought out master plan communities and infrastructure, but it was moving at a rate. That's when I was an employee. It was moving at a rate that was extraordinarily difficult to keep up with.
Mm-hmm.
Our growth rate right now is at about 2%.
It is.
And
yeah.
so it's still one of the fastest in the nation because there are many communities that are losing population.
Mm-hmm.
So even at 2%, we're considered a fast-growing community. But we've been working at double digits. 2% is pretty easy for us to manage. We are very, very good at creating a plan and following that plan. So we have a strategic plan that we follow at the City of Henderson. And we don't deviate from that. We develop that plan from input from the residents, from our business owners, developers, anybody who is a stakeholder in our community has input on that plan. We update it every 4 years. We break it back out to the public and say, okay, this is where we are. Do we need to tweak anything? And right now we have 5 strategic priorities: public safety, quality education, high-performing public service, economic vitality, and healthy, livable, sustainable community.
There you
Everything
go.
we do
Yeah.
falls under that. And it is very thought out. That's why we receive the Malcolm Baldrige Awards. It's because we are continually looking at our processes, looking to see if there are room for improvement, and when improvement is needed, making those changes and then checking back in. We have surveys done every other year with our residents to see how we're doing. And then in the in-between years, we do it with our business community. And without fail, year after year, we're in the very high 90s, and we check on everything, every department, how people feel their value is for their tax dollars. We're the lowest tax city in the entire state of Nevada of a city of this size, 70 cents per $100 of assessed value, compared to, say, Las Vegas, which is at $1.09, and North Las Vegas, which is at $1.19.
There you go.
It's a huge difference in tax, and you get so much value for the taxes that you're paying in Henderson that it makes a huge difference.
Look, you know, the interesting thing is you said you born and raised in Henderson.
Yes.
I've been here since 1999. And like I said, the growth is incredible. No one heard of Inspirata.
Right.
No one heard of Cadence. Boulder Highway is being fixed up. Inspirata. I mean, there's construction everywhere.
Yes.
But one of the questions that people ask me to ask you is, with all the growth, are we going to run out of water? And I think more people are concerned about the water issue than they are about what's going on in the city council, the fighting between the council members.
Sure.
How do you address, I mean, are we running out of water one
not.
day? Am I going to?
We're not. We're running out of water. So do we need to be very careful with our natural resources? 1,000%. And we have a very, very strategic plan that we work on continually with the Las Vegas Valley Water District and the Southern Nevada Water Authority to make sure that we are thinking out 20 to 50 years in advance. And so what people don't always understand, the entire state of Nevada uses less than 2% of the Colorado River.
Yeah.
And for many years consistently, we haven't even used our full allotment. About 10 to 15 years ago, since in the last 10 to 15 years, we've grown by about 700,000 people in the valley.
Yeah.
But we've reduced our water consumption by 40% during that same time period. Anything in the state of Nevada that goes down a drain is recycled and reused. We're the only state that does that. And so the more concerning issue is the states around us and their lack of planning and their lack of ability to recycle their water or to do anything to capture rainfall or things like that. And so we're working with those surrounding states and the federal government. We are the gold star for water conservation in the entire nation. And our federal government has been out numerous times now to see what we're doing in Southern Nevada because we are doing it so well. And they're taking that information and applying pressure to California, Arizona, Utah to change the way they're doing things and to be better at conservation. And at the state level, our state is helping in that regard also. So there are partnerships, for example, with California to help fund a reclamation facility for them in exchange for freeing up allotments of water for Southern Nevada. And so a lot of that's going on. But when the Colorado River Compact was first created, they created it in a year that had the highest water flow they've had on record.
Yeah.
And it's never been that since. And they based it on that, and they haven't adjusted it, the allotment, since then. That doesn't really work. And so it's incumbent upon the people at the federal level to address that issue. They need to revise it down. But Nevada in itself is amazing at conserving water. And every time we have any type of master plan community or development of any size, we have worked with Southern Nevada Water Authority to plan that into the consumption calculations far in advance. So they know what's coming on 5 years from now, 10 years from now. They know what zoning is in place for 50 years from now. And so that they can kind of plan for that and make sure that they are being responsible with the allotments.
So really what you're saying is that right now in Henderson, we're not at a crisis level.
We are not.
As simple as that.
As simple as that.
Well, you announced that you were going to be running for re-election.
I did.
Coming up. And if, with the time we have left, if people want more information about you, they want to contribute to your campaign, they want to just have a question, how do they get a hold of you?
They can call me.
Okay.
There's so many people who have my number, and it's on the website as well, but it's votemichelleromero.com. And I answer emails. My email is michelleromeronv@gmail.com. I answer emails. I answer phones. I respond right away, usually.
Yeah.
We have a pretty heavy schedule, but usually within the day I get back to you.
Well, Michelle, I thank you so much for being here. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
As we get closer to the election, we'd like to have you back on,
Absolutely.
explain everything. So this is Dan Roberts for the Vegas Voice saying we will see you again next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.